My HTC U11 now joins my Samsung Galaxy S8 as it becomes my second phone that carries the Snapdragon 835 chipset, an octa-core CPU with 4 gigs of RAM. The U11 carries a clock speed slightly higher than the S8, 4 cores running 2.45 GHz versus the S8's 2.35 GHz. My Google Pixel XL, LG G6, and OnePlus 3T are in the Snapdragon 821 family, now a generation behind running a quad-core CPU. On paper, my OnePlus 3T offers the highest specs in this chipset. Additionally, it shares the highest clock speeds with the G6 but offers 6 gigs of RAM versus the G6's and Pixel XL's 4. For this test, the Pixel XL will be running the beta version of Android 8.0.0, aka Android O. The rest will be running the latest version of Android 7 that their respective manufacturers allow. I'll be running everyday apps I personally use with my phones. I ran a similar test like this about 3 weeks ago with the OnePlus 3T, edging out the S8 for first place by about half a second. The only difference with this test is I'm adding in 3 more apps, 18 in total. Let's see if the additional apps push limits to what each device can keep in memory.
Hello everybody!
If boot times are important for you, let's quickly take a look. The Pixel XL running beta software is the first to load, the S8 second, the G6 and the 3T at pretty much the exact same time, and the U11 last. This is always a weird test for me. I don't think it's a big deal at all, but if you're curious, well, now you know. And FYI, all phones were set to factory settings. The only additional apps that were added were strictly for this test. No apps were removed. I checked to make sure there were no apps in the background, started the timer, and here we go. A third through the first round, that is app number 6 of 18, the HTC U11 and Galaxy S8 take the lead already working on the Prime Now app. The Pixel XL just finished loading Twitter. I'm guessing a lot of this has to do with beta software. Maybe, maybe not. Halfway through the first round, app number 9 of 18, the U11 begins to pull even further forward. The S8 and 3T are exactly 1 app behind the U11. The G6 finishes up Netflix, app number 7, while the Pixel XL is just opening it up. The U11 finishes round 1 at 53.2 seconds, the 3T 58.9 seconds, the S8 1 minute and 1 second.
1 second.
The Pixel XL and the G6 finished the first round right around 1 minute and 8 seconds. But look at where everyone else is at. The U11 is in first place, but just finished going through an app refresh at Prime Now. The 3T is right on its heels, 1 app behind, but will also have an app refresh at Prime Now. And the S8 starts to fall back in third because of an app refresh at Twitter, and again right after at Prime Now. The only app that keeps Prime Now in the background is the G6, and because of that starts to make up some time since making last place in the first round. You'll notice the S8 is refreshing a good amount of apps, making it fall further and further behind while the G6 catches up to it. The U11 finishes first at around 1 minute and 51 seconds. The OnePlus 3T second place at 2 minutes and 1 second, the G6 third at 2 minutes and 3 seconds, the S8 fourth at 2 minutes and 8 seconds. And the Pixel XL rounding out the rear at almost 2 minutes and 20 seconds, almost 30 seconds slower than the HTC U11. I'll give the Pixel XL some slack here though. Since it's running Android beta software, I'm sure the lag and refreshes were in part due to that. I'm also not sure if this is because Android plans to start closing apps in the background to save battery, so maybe that's a culprit as well. The S8 was surprising for me though. The S8 didn't lose because it lagged, it lost because it refreshed a good amount of apps. Whether it closed them on purpose to save on battery is something I'll still have to take a look at. The 3T coming in second wasn't too much of a surprise. The 3T has always impressed me in its performance department and holds up well for now being a generation behind in its CPU. And while the G6 started off slow, it roared back with a respectable finish, keeping almost all of its apps in the background for round 2. Either way, all of these phones, despite having 18 apps open, still performs well. To one person using one phone, you're not going to be dying waiting for an app to open, don't worry about that. But the U11 is now a new benchmark for me. As I was opening apps in the second round, I was even forgetting what tasks I had to do within the app because it was opening so fast. It's funny because I keep hearing HTC getting a bum rep lately for its U11. Maybe I'm on the opposite end of the spectrum here, but so far I'm thoroughly impressed.
Skip. You already